Welcome to 3.3 in your Algebra 1 journal, page 71. This is function notation, this section. And we have just a little bit of notes and a lot of examples here. So, function notation. Got that listed right there. That's this right little here. It's read f, so I'm looking at this right here. F of x equals mx plus b. Very similar to our slope-intercept form that we have over here. Except y, I should say, f of x replaces, I can't write, y. And it's not always f of x. I've got g of x written down here equals 3x minus 5. Now what we're going to do with this, it's basically a problem you've done before, and we're just coming up with a new notation for it. So before, I said find y for x equals 5 if y equals 2x squared minus 2x minus 5. You take out the x, you put in 5. Well, we're really doing the same thing down here. Okay, I was just reading that line before. Except this time we're going m of x equals 2x squared minus 2x minus 5. Okay, so I'm looking at this one right there. And that's our function. Again, very, very similar to just the regular notation you've had before with y equals, except we're replacing the function for the y. Now, if I put a number in here, I take out the x. Notice, everywhere there's an x, I take out the x I put in 5. Then I evaluate it. So 2 times 5 squared minus 2 times 5 minus 5. 5 squared is 25. 2 times 25 is 50. 2 times 5 is 10. 50 minus 10 is 40. 40 minus 5 gives me 35. And that's what we're going to be doing here, mostly evaluating functions. And one little quick comment for graphing down here. The y-axis is f of x or g of x or whatever letter I've used. So whenever we're graphing these, since we don't have the y, whatever the result is, the f of x is going to go in there. In this case, like the 35 would be our y-axis number. This would be the point 535. So we're doing x, whatever f of x is equal to, what it comes out to. I got a note here, you may need scratch paper. I do have some scrambled answers for some of these over here. I don't have them for the middle, number 7, it just didn't work out. Or number 13 down here. But let's go here. So which ones was I gonna do? Let's try 3 and 5. Okay, so we're doing these, evaluate the function when x equals -4, 0, and 2. So the way I'm going to write this, again, you're going to probably need some extra space here. So you're going to probably need some scratch paper. Just plan on it now. I'm going to go h of -4. I would prefer this be in red. H of -4 equals 7 minus 2 times 4. So that's 7 minus 8. And that gives me -1. But looking over at my answers, I don't see a -1, and I see I made a mistake. I should have had a -4 in there. That would make minus a -8, which goes to plus a positive, and this number is going to change to 15. I do see that over here. So Sorry about the mistake, but that's how I put the answers in there so you can catch those. So next I'm going to have to do h of 0, and that's going to give me 7 minus 2 times 0, which is 7 minus 0, which equals 7. So I had my 15, there's my 7. And I can see I'm running out of room, and you're going to wish you could do this on your paper. Okay, and now I have to do 2. So I've done this, now I'm going to do the 2. So I have h of 2 equals 7 minus 2 times 2. That's 7 minus 4, which is 3. That's my third number. It matches up there. That's what we're looking for right there. So you're just going to do that. Now try number 5 with me. You're going to use the same numbers for x. You can see this is big, a little bit bigger. Okay to use a calculator on this one or other ones if you need it. So let's get started here. So we'll start with, whoops, I got the wrong color on there. T of 4, that's going to be 6 plus 3 times 4 minus 2. That's 6 plus 12 minus 2. 18 minus 2, that gives me 16. Again, I don't see my answer over here because I keep doing the same mistake. I got a negative 4 here. And that's going to make that negative 12, which is going to give me negative 6 minus 2, which is negative 8. I do see my negative 8. Don't make that mistake, kids. Pay attention to that negative. It's late at night. Sorry about that. Okay, t of 0, that's going to be 6 plus 3 times 0. Whoops, not plus. Minus 2. That's 6 plus 0 minus 2. That's going to be 4. That's matching. And again, notice how I'm not using room from the other problems here. So t of 2 equals 6 plus 3 times 2 minus 2. That's 6 plus 6 minus 2. That's 12 minus 2. That's given me 10. And you're going to do the same thing for 4 other problems here, 1, 2, 4, and 6. Okay to use a calculator. Be careful with your arithmetic. Check your answers. Don't make silly mistakes like I did. Okay, number 7 is a little different. It's taking something and putting it into words. And this is important for understanding what the formulas represent. You always want to be able to know what they represent. So here, N of T, the number of DVDs you have in your collection after T trips to the video store. Obviously an old problem since video stores really don't exist anymore. Explain the meaning of each statement. Well, N number, that's what it is. So N of 0 equals 8. I got this started for you. See if you can fill in those blanks. Remember, use the pause to help you do that. This would be after, let's get the red on, 0 trips, because remember, this number in here, T, stands for trips, so that means that's 0, so that's 0 trips to the video store I have, and the result of that is 8 DVDs. Okay, on D here, the difference, oops, I kind of gave that away. That's going to be difference between the number of DVDs after 7 trips. That's my number of DVDs after 7 trips. And what's going to go in here? What's going to go down here in this one? Pause it. Put your answers in. And it should be 2 trips is 10 DVDs. This is a greater than symbol. the number of DVDs after how many trips is greater than the number of DVDs after how many trips. This is the same as part A. You've just changed the numbers for, I should say this one, you can't see what I'm pointing at. B is the same as A, except the numbers have changed. Number 8 and 10 are old problems in disguise. We're going to use a little substitution, as I mentioned over here. So they tell us b of x equals negative 20, and then they give us a b of x formula over here. Well, we're just going to use a little substitution. If b of x is equal to negative 20, we can take that out, put in negative 20 equals negative 3x plus 1. Now we're in our regular solvent equations, minus 1, negative 21 equals negative 3x, divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3, negative over negative is positive, I get 7 equal to x. Yay, I didn't make a mistake on video this time. Same thing down here. Substitute it in. You're not taking out the x because there's not, it's not m of a number. They're saying, hey, m of x came out to 2, so you're taking out the m of x, you're putting in 2. Negative 3/5 x minus 4. I'm going to plus 4 and plus 4. 6 equals negative 3/5 x. You can either multiply by the denominator and then divide. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, negative 5 over 3 times negative 5 over 3. I always reduce first. 1 and 2. Negative 5 times 2, there's negative 10 equals x, because everything canceled out over there, and the negative times negative is positive. And go back here, I forgot to mention it. You can see we got the negative 10 for our answer there, so we're looking good. Over here, this is similar to what we did on number 1 to 6, but we're going to graph these. Okay, so we got x is negative 4, so I'm going to start off with s of negative 4, and you're going to probably need scratch paper again here, equals 1/2 of negative 4 minus 2. You can use your mind and think of this. Half of 4 is 2, so half of negative 4 is negative 2 minus 2. You could also do your reducing. This reduces with this, 1 and 2. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. We end up with negative 4. And then you can graph that point right down there. Then you're just going to go to the next one. S of negative 2, 1/2 of negative 2 minus 2. That comes out to, again, we can reduce. That goes to 1 and 1. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1 minus 2. That gives me negative 3. So I have negative 2, negative 3. And I keep going down and doing these. Let's do this one here. S of 2 equals 1/2 times 2 minus 2. Half of 2 is 1 minus 2. That gives me negative 1. So I got 2, negative 1. And then after you get all those points in there, I should have put the point in there before I graphed it. And then once you get all those points in there, just go ahead and graph your line. Just a minute left for this last problem. So they want you to compare your friend's bank account, which is this one right here, with your balances, which we're going to calculate. So we look at 2, 4, and 6 months. Here's the formula. B of m equals 50. I got that. M plus 150, just got that from up there. 2 months I got from right there. So this is going to be 50 times 2 plus 150. That's 100. Whoops, I got an extra 0. That's 100 plus 150. That gives me 250. So I'd have 250 in there. And then I just do that for the next one. I got 50 times 4 this time, because we're B of 4, plus 150. And keep going through that, get it in there, and compare the money. Compare it at the start, compare it at the end. And we're pretty much out of time here. Aloha.